Hello and welcome to Grace in Australia Diecast Salvage. Videos on this channel is directed to the adult community as it contains strippers, so good it'll take the paint off diecast vehicles, nudity of paint stripped diecast vehicles, and a man playing with his tools. Adult supervision advised for those under 16 years in age. So come along, enjoy what's coming up. So our ADAC Straßenwacht vehicle is up and running and going, so they're going to say goodbye along with the other VWs of that particular model, the 411, which came out after the VW Type 3, and of course we have the fastback version. This is another 411 that we'll take out. We have the second dinky one that we did. That was donated by Jason Brown, thank you very much. And the other vehicle that we may take out the equation these days is our dinky El Camino and trailer. So they're going to their relative places to go on to happier times. So we're still busy in the workshop, and the vehicle that's coming in for the any Matchbox vehicle for the Diecast and Modelers Community November build is the Opel Diplomat. This one is in fair condition. The bonnet is there, which is nice. Sometimes they stay up, sometimes they don't, but the bonnet is there. Lots of paint chips. All the pillars are there. So let's go over to the workbench and let's have a closer look at it. Okay, at the workbench we have the Matchbox number 36 Opel Diplomat regular wheels. There we go, we've got the bonnet to stay up and it's down there. Now it's in the casting, by the looks of things, in quite good condition. There's not all the pillars are there. The glass is in a good condition. Lots of paint chips. That tow hook is still there. Now this one I will do a custom paint on it, as the gold that I have is not even a close match to this. But I do have another one in a lot better condition. It only has a minor paint chip on the bonnet, so this one I'll keep as it is. Also still has the tow hook and good glass. So I'll do a custom on this. Now I don't know whether these have got suspension in them. It sort of rocks like it does, but we'll find out when we open it up. So we'll catch you in a moment. I like to use the burr tool. Let's have a focus. There we go. The burr tool to take off the rivet head. Other restorers use drills, which is fine. This is just, you know, you just do whatever's comfortable for you. And let's see if we can pull this thing apart. So, like everything else, you know, so when you're off camera, things work. When you're on camera, things become more difficult. So let's see if I can get this tool out. May need to do a bit more work. We'll see. do apologise for going off camera a little bit on here. There we go. Okay, so we can lift up the back and it's held in by a tab up the front. So let's see what... Oh, she's tight, very tight in there. But let's see if the screwdriver can't help us out a bit. Okay. What's holding us in is our tow bar. So let's bring that down a bit. Because if we look here on either side, that's what's holding our interior in place. So it wants to pull everything out at once. So we need to go into... I'm just going off camera to get... There we go. The interior is held on with the base. And what held us in was the part here for the tow hook. So, alright, in this, like I said, I wasn't too sure regarding suspension. The front tab here is the little bit of suspension up the front, and the rear is the same thing on this part here. So, I don't know what that is. We'll just take it out of the equation. Now, bonnet has already come out. The engine has come out. Let's have a look at the engine. Now the engine is got quite a fair bit of chrome. We won't need to touch that. Now the glass. In the regular wheels, the glass is held in by a mushroomed head. If you have a super fast wheels, you'll have the indication that there's a mushroom head there, but the super fast versions aren't in there. You can pop the glass straight out on the super fast versions. Anyway, I will get onto again my burr tool out. We'll take the head off and we'll get the screen out. I won't do that on camera as that will be too noisy. Let's see if we can pop the interior, because we do need to paint the base. So we'll so it's concentrating, so that's why you hear a bit of silence from me every so often. Concentrating. So there we go. Just a bit of pressure on the back of the seat to come up. So as said before, the rear sort of suspension is held in by this part on the seat and on this tab on the front. Now they're straight, but there isn't much travel room. All right, so that needs a bit of cleaning. So we'll put that in our container. We'll put our engine and interior in the container. Now the wheels themselves are good. The axles are good. But I'll take the axles off in a moment because the base does need to be painted. Alright, I'll catch you in a moment. Right, there's several ways that you can get the wheels off the axle. Now what these regular wheels axles are like, they have a big mushroom on one end. Let's see if it'll clean up. Bit of carpet hair there, or pubic hair if you like. Big mushroom on that end, and very thin ping over on that end. And I'm not using the Dremel tool, so if we have a look at these tyres, as you can see, it's got a big head on that end, and on this end is a very, very fine rub over. And the easiest way to, well, not so much the easiest way, one of the ways that you can get them off is by using a file with one end made smooth. You take the file part out, so that can go up against the tyre. So we'll go up to the small end, and we just go like that around the edge of that burr. So that's all we need to do on that. You can either turn the axle or turn everything else around. Anyway, that's all I'm doing. It's just using the file, and we'll be back in a moment to see with the wheels off. Right, as you can see, we have our wheels off, our axles, our bonnet, our base or our chassis. We still have our glass in there. Excuse me, I just dropped the file that we just used to take the axle off. There we go. So we still need to take the screen out. I've just, again, using that burr tool on the Dremel. You're less likely to drill through if you're using a burr tool rather than a drill. So we should be able to get this glass out without breaking it. There we go, just gave it a push, you just heard that crack. And out she is. That's all in one piece. And notice we have an arrow. So anyway, so we'll put that in our container with our other plastics. So next up, we'll clean up our plastics, and then we'll move on to our favourite part, wanting to see our strippers come along. So we're going to do some cleaning first, because our strippers like us to be clean. So we'll catch you in a moment. Well, we might as well put everything in for it to be washed. Our glass, our interior, our tyres, 3, 4. Might as well put the base in, bonnet, and the main casting. Seeing as Marty hasn't been back out, so he's not getting his toothbrush back. Neither is Julie. Sorry, Julie. Alright, so there it is. Just gave the main casting a wash. Let's see what comes out. Ouch, the water's hot. So just give the base a bit of a clean. And give it a bit of it dry. They've got an infomercial running in the background. That's what you're hearing. Here we come with our screen. Just give that a bit of a clean. So that we might just use the floor polish on to get it clean, to give it a nice shiny. And we're doing our interior. It's all nice and clean, and that gives us our tyres. So anyway, we'll come back. We've done our washing, so guess what's coming next? So brace yourselves, this could be entertaining. So, are we ready? The girls are ready. So, let's see if they're up to it. See if we can take the gold off. We know we can take the black off. Let's see about the gold. We've got lots of paint floating around. They're enjoying their work today because it's a bit cool out. So we've got lots of black going up. Let's have a look on the other side, see what's happening there. Lots of work going on. Anyway, we'll let the stripper do its thing. By the looks of things, the roof is about to lift off. Like I said, plenty of reaction on the black paint. You can see floating all around the place as it's going through. Look at them dance. Isn't that nice? You get a nice little show there. All dancing. I'm doing something else while we're sort of contemplating what's happening in front of you there. There you go. See the paint's lifting up on the bonnet. So the gold looks like it is going to come off rather nicely. So let's see how that goes for everybody. And we're seeing it lift off here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Because you see a lot of the time, you know, the fizzy part, and then we take it away for the wash up. For the wash up, but here you can actually see that it's lifting almost like the mechanical. The paint stripper, the chemical type, but it's not as messy. Anyway, all right, you're seeing it all lift. That's good. See, we're just putting that in. Okay, see you in a few moments. We'll do a bit of a wash up and we'll see a naked vehicle. So we have our naked vehicle in front of us, and now we're going to get to play with our tool and give it a good polish. So we'll hold this one up this way. We'll actually move the casting backwards and forwards. So we can this is polishing up rather nicely. As we can see there, all nice and shiny. Hey, don't drop it. No, we didn't go onto the floor. Just onto my fat little belly. So just got to work. See if we can't polish that. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. There's a little dull mark there. We'll see if we can't polish it out. I go down the side. We'll go one way. Almost looks like a burn mark. Anyway, we might get that on the second round when we move on to the next piece. Again, as you can see, it's rather dull up on it as it is at the moment. Let's see if we can make that go shiny too, because it's so small. Tell you one thing, I'm not going to have much of fingerprints, because we're wearing it so far down. It's not easy to brush the underside because of the hinge. So we'll go top side again. There we go, shiny. Might pick it up on the front there. And now I come to the main casting. As we can see, it's not all that shiny. So we'll see if we can rectify that. And there we go. As you saw, it wasn't too many passes that we haven't done that side as you saw. So we'll do the rest off camera. Because what we'll do after that, I'll do it on this one, is we'll use this steel item just to give it another polish over. It gets in through where the other one doesn't, or it smooths out the scratches. We'll do the same thing on the bonnet. Thing is, with this thing here, not getting the mess to clean up afterwards, like with the steel wool, which is still useful. Believe me, it's still useful. And I have to say that PB at... Oops, don't lose the bonnet. I'll try again. Peter at PB Retro Restorations. I like his idea that he keeps the mess of his steel wool that you can use to customise things. So if you're looking at weathering your car to make rust, to put rust on your car, if you're doing customization, that's a neat little idea from Peter at PV Restorations. Go have a look at some of his work. Anyway, I'll keep going on finishing this, and next part you'll see we should be in primer. Catch you then. So that after we done some the polishing, we found some pitting in the roof. So what we're done is we've just got some super glue and some baking soda to fill in the pits. So I'm just going to let that harden up and start filing that down again. And again, maybe when we see this, she'll be in primer, ready for paint. See you then. Poor old Mater. He's lost his wheels, but he's kindly donating them for our little project, and here they are over here. But the thing is, the wheels are quite wide, so to get them into fit there properly, we've had to widen our base. So we've done a bit of chopping here and here in the wheel wells there, or wheel cavity, so we can get our wheels to go in. Oops, there we go. And we're using some, because the wheels aren't wide enough, some KS, hold it that way, KS 9820 tubing, so that we can get our wheels to fit in there. So what we're going to do is, you'll have to wait and see what colour the wheels are, to get our wheel into and stay in the tubing. Normally what some people do is they would try and get this to sit properly. What a lot of people do is they would, at the end of the axle there, that's where they would put the super glue, and then try and fit it into the hole of the axle of the tubing. What I'm going to do is, with the Dremel tool, is make a little hole up the top here as soon as I get a pointing device. So I'll have an idea where the axle will be up in here, is cut a little slip on both sides and put the super glue in there. That will hold the axle in place and it will make the wheels still spin. Anyway, I'll be cutting that off camera, mainly because of the noise that the Dremel tool makes. So we'll catch you in a moment with the wheels in place. So I'm hoping that this will show up. You'll see too, the camera will focus, hopefully. Maybe get my hand behind the... There we go. You'll see too, I have to work my way behind the camera. You'll see two spots. One there and one there. That's where I've made my slits. Put some super glue in, and then I'll put the axle in there with the tyre. Done the rear ones as well, and we now have a rolling wheels. Alright, so we've still got a chassis chassis. There's the chassis. We still have the casting to deal with to go with that. So we'll get ourselves set up for painting. We have a base coat on it. It's white, as you can see. So we are turning this into a two-tone. So we're going to do some masking up and we'll get ready for paint. Catch you in a moment. So we're just going to mask up the vehicle. I'm using this thin blue tape to mark up our body line, our mid-belt line. Now I have used some liquid mask to do the front grille and the tail light area. Now I've been told by a reliable source, Paul from Pimp My Diecast, that you could use copy decks if you have it in your area. It's the same thing if you look at Charlie at Chadwick Model Railways. He uses copy decks for his railway layout. Yeah, like with a lot of things, when you're doing things on camera, it doesn't work properly. Oops. Let's put the pen behind it just to see if we can't stabilise it a little bit. So we're trying to get the belt line, trying to get something behind it that will keep its balance. Now we might be able to use our piece here. So we shall try again. We get our midline and just hold it in place so we can get our line properly. And stretch it. Just do a bit of a check. That's a straight line. Okay, you've got okay. Alright, so again, this is the beauty on this particular tape, is that you can take it off a little bit. And you can reposition if you need to. Just like what I've done there. And now we're going to cut off the extra bits that we don't need. So these were just sort of our little grab handles. We're just going to cut just behind the window there so we can set our tape flat. Cut off the front. Cut in the angle so we can get our piece there to sit. Now we'll get rid of our waste, and now we can use the other frog tape to mask up the main centre. So we'll just like I said, these particular sheared type scissors from a dressmaker shop, much easier to work with than a pair of scissors. So we'll get that to go over the top. Like so. Get that down to the side. Again, apologies if I'm now off camera. I just want to curl up the sides a bit. Because what we're doing is we're staying just above that blue mid-waist line. And we can cut that tail off a bit. And we can cut this front off a bit. So there's that one masked off. So we're ready for paint. Alright, let me set up for the painting and we'll catch you in a moment. Doing a little bit of experimenting today. We're not actually using decanted spray can paint. We're not using dedicated airbrush paint. And what we're going to use is some nail polish. And what it is, we've diluted it into a jar. All of that, and we've diluted it down with thinners. So let's see how we go. That's just me with the airbrush. Need to mix a bit more. There we go. Take the handle out a bit. Okay, so let's see how all of that turned out. Alright, so we've done our painting, so now comes the crunch part to see how well we mask this off. And I think I might, as you can see already, you may see or may not, but I have some other colours. So I like the result what I'm seeing so far. Oops. Keep it on the toilet roll. So we can take off that one. So now, let's see what sort of a straight line we get. Oops. Come on. Stay on there. Don't you love it when things don't work out again like they're supposed to? So that's turned out alright, and I have a thumbprint as we just did, so that's alright, we can do a touch up. So, okay, we'll take the liquid mask off the front, off the rear. I'll do that off camera. I'll do that little touch up on that front door. And we'll see you at assembly. See you then. It's time to reassemble this bad boy. So, it's our casting. We'll do our bonnet maybe first. As we've got both hinges, put it in and we'll see if she closes, to which she does. We'll drop our engine in, just make sure that the radiator is going up the front, and it does, because that holds our bonnet in place. Next we have our glass, which goes in nicely. Now we'll carefully put that down onto there. Now our interior goes onto the base first, before we can put it into the car. Now remember that we have 2 tabs on the side, which correspond with 2 tabs on the interior. So we'll snap that into place. Everything lines up. It rolls. Okay, now we have a tab on the front. That will go into there. And we'll snap it into place in the back. We will add a bit of super glue, just a moment. We'll find something for this to rest on. We'll super glue it. So we'll just take a bit out, super glue in. So we'll hold that there for a second or two. Now I could put baking powder over the top of it, or just give it a spritz of IPA. So we just, there we go, that's IPA is holding it all nicely into place. So next it's a reveal. Catch you there. As we're about to reveal the Opel Diplomat, of course we have to have a bus that comes in the way. So we'll move the bus out the way. He can go up there with the Graves in Australia Greyhound coach, and we'll have a look at him a little bit later. But anyway, here's our Opel Diplomat for the Diecast and modelers community, any Matchbox vehicle build. We have totally stripped it down. We've given it a 2-tone paint job. We have detailed it. We've left the tow hook on. We've raised the rear end. We've given it some new boots. It is a roller. We've cleaned up the glass. We've cleaned up the interior. We've cleaned up the engine. So she's ready to go to a new home. So we'll do that. Get it ready to go. Just a little update on our Mercedes that's in the background here from our previous video. We have found the front bumper, and it has now been attached to it. We've also now remade the front number plate bezel that's for there. I'd like to thank my subscribers. They've been patiently and watched this video, hopefully all the way through. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay, that's no problem, as long as you watched and you enjoyed the video. Now coming up in December is the next Diecast and Modelers Challenge. It's the Ashes. It's build or create any British muscle car. So here are our dates. You don't need to have a video, just take some before and after photos. Send them to PJ, the email address is down the bottom there. Or you can post them up on the Diecast and Modelers Community Facebook page. The link is down below. We'd like to see what you do. So you don't necessarily have to have a video. Just start off with just taking some still shots. It's how I started. And eventually I got brave enough to start making my own videos. And you don't need to have anything that elaborate to make your videos. Just your smartphone will do. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.